Welcome to Copytraders Club, where you can learn how to make more money copy trading. I'm Gavin McCauley, my name and username on eToro. You can continue the conversation on Discord and Facebook. If you like this podcast and want to see it continue, you can do your part by recommending it to one person or group of people this week. Today is a solo episode. Here we go. Episode 35 of Copytraders Club, which is a solo episode divided, as is customary, into 3 parts. Part 1, we will have a look back at some of the recent episodes and reflections on the key moments from those conversations. Part 2, portfolio update. Part 3, video recommendation. So Part 1, a look back at the last few episodes. As these solo episodes have become one every 2 months, there's been much water under the bridge since the last time. In that time, we've chatted to copy trader Robert Rubeko, who conceded that despite quite a few years of copy trading, he has not really got to grips with his favoured approach. He has tried a few things, including a completely passive, set it and forget it approach, but concluded that to be a successful copy trader requires some good decision making and ongoing monitoring, with which I would very much concur. We also had Sam North from eToro on to tell us a little about working for this company. He seems very positive about the culture and the future for eToro. I wonder, will I ever be sipping a cocktail in the Canary Wharf office one fine London afternoon? Other than these chats, fate threw up some big popular investor names in this period: Heloise Greef, Harry Harrison, Hugo Manenti, and Ishfaaq Peerally. 4 high-profile PIs at different stages of their eToro journey. It's not easy to reduce each chat down to the key elements. We cover so much ground, you really have to listen to them in their entirety. But let's try some reductive synopsizing. Heloise Greef. Evidently very intelligent, measured, seems genuinely humble regarding how she's growing into her role as a popular investor, much loved by her copiers. It was interesting to put a little meat on the bones of the role of machine learning in her process. Harry Harrison, a uniquely straight-talking PI. While most PIs understandably like to use an appearance on Copytraders Club to give a good account of themselves in order to appeal to new copiers, Harry's approach was very different. He didn't want people to feel pressured into copying him. Simply check out his history and feed, and you can copy him if you choose to, but he won't be giving any guarantees about future performance or talking up what a good time it is to copy him. Hugo Manenti, or Hugo Manenti, as I like to irritatingly call him. 2 things struck me about this chat. Firstly, Hugo is nothing like the impression I got of him from his profile pic. In that pic, he looks like a young professor, a stuffy academic whose idea of living on the edge is doing a crossword with a red pen. In reality, he's a much cooler guy than that. While he is a serious professional, he still knows how to party and loves going to live indie gigs, so I get the impression he's a good sense of work-life balance. The second point was where Hugo pitched himself and recommended I ask other PIs to make the case as to why they have an edge. Why are they well placed to outperform? Ishfaaq Peerally was up next. Talking to Ishfaaq, I think we got more of an idea of who he is and where he comes from, i.e. Mauritius via Omaha, Nebraska. Ishfaaq styles himself as an old-school value investor, although some might question his choices at times. Clearly, he is his own man, has enjoyed some great success so far, and has big ambitions for the future. Worth noting what a great opportunity eToro has afforded this intelligent investor, whose ideas come to him as he walks along an island beach in the shallows of the Indian Ocean. We also had a great roundtable chat with the PIs Bees84 and EliteVol, along with copytrader and YouTuber Bryan G, where we had a great chat about, among other things, editor's choice, eToro notifications, short-term traders, and, most interestingly I think, the reasons why someone would want to copy trade in the first place. Lots of meaty chit-chat. Coming up in part 2, portfolio review. Part 2, portfolio review. Nothing much to say here. No changes, I think, since the last episode. My portfolio value goes up and goes down. More down than up recently, but these are merely waves in the sea. No point in reacting to going up each wave and down each wave. The sea is also a fair bit choppier when your portfolio has a significant proportion of crypto assets. But the ship is set on its course and the destination is known. So let's just inhale that fresh sea air and enjoy the journey. Coming up in part 3, video recommendation. Part 3, video recommendation. There's a video on YouTube that is fundamentally important for all eToro users to understand. It was published on the 5th of September 2020. And when I first watched it, I had those sensations of mental exhilaration when you learn something new and vital. When your previous misunderstanding is immediately recognized and corrected. Like the scientist whose experiment changes his theory in an instant. Where you take a big step forward in important knowledge. Now this sounds so grand that you would imagine this video has viewing stats in the tens of thousands. But incredibly, this is not true. At the time of recording this video, it has a shockingly low 230 views, several of which are mine. I think all copy traders and indeed all eToro users should watch this video multiple times to ensure they're on the ball. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm pretty certain you're going to learn something from it. It's no surprise to regular listeners to hear that this video is to be found on the Felix Falix YouTube channel, of which I'm a huge fan. I reached out to Andrew to tell him I was going to be recommending this specific video, and he replied saying the main 2 points to stress would be that if you add in money, it moves your monthly stat closer to zero. The nearer you are to the end of the month, the more profound the effect. Secondly, the stats don't take into account bankroll size. So if someone has a 50% winning year, then a 10% losing year, this does not mean they have actually made money, as they may have deposited, or indeed withdrawn, at the end of the winning year. When PIs say, copying me for 10k in 2014 would mean you now have 100k, this is assuming there were no deposits made by them. If there were, then the timing and size of the deposit, as well as whether the copier matched it or not, would mean you might have made a lot more or a lot less than 100k. But I urge you to watch the video for everything to become clear. I think you might find that some of the assumptions you may have made about the information that the bar charts are telling you are in fact incorrect, and knowledge is power. I'll link to it in the show notes, or you can search it on YouTube. eToro bar charts, a deep dive. It really is required viewing. We have a number of interesting guests coming up over the next period, including PIs of high profile, some rising stars, and some new names you may not have heard of. Keeping it box fresh as always here at Copytraders Club. That's all from me. You can continue the conversation on Discord and Facebook. If you like this podcast and want to see it continue, you can do your part by recommending it to one person or group of people this week. Until next time we meet at Copytraders Club, I wish you many happy returns. Obviously, anything here in this podcast for entertainment only, not financial advice. Do your own research. This is just generic chit chat. We don't know your individual circumstances, etc., and so forth.